Let's talk about what happens when a married person dies. They're married, they have no kids, and they have no will. So what happens to their stuff? And in this case, we're working with a husband who died. We're working with his surviving wife. Husband had no children, and he had no will. So here's what happens. Depends whether he had community property or separate property. If he had community property, he and his wife purchased a home together while they were married. He and his wife had bank accounts or investments together that they acquired during their marriage. All that's community property. His one half of that community property goes to his wife. So that's what happens to the community property. What happens to his separate property? He had actually brought some stock into the marriage. So he had it before he got married. That's his separate property. What happens to it? His wife doesn't get it. His separate property, since he has no surviving parents, his separate property goes to his siblings, not to his wife. So his siblings will get all of that stock. And since some of his siblings had predeceased, those siblings' shares will go to those siblings' children. So a little bit complicated, but be aware that if a married person who has no kids, has no will, where their stuff goes depends on whether it's community property or separate property. The surviving spouse gets all the community property, but typically does not get any of the separate property. You can change all of that by getting wills, trusts, estate legal documents in place, but in absence of that, it's going to happen just like I said. So be aware of that. Have a great day.